Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Sandra Mom, and as you can see, Ben is not here again this week. Unfortunately, Ben has relapsed, and I just want to talk to you about what's been going on, what I've learned, and what I'm doing for myself. You know, like I said in the last video, addiction sucks and it can be very exhausting. But I just want to say that, I'm okay with where we're at. I know it sounds bizarre because Ben has relapsed. If you've been watching over the last 2.5 years, our journey, you know that this isn't the first time he's relapsed. And that relapse, we always say, is part of some people's recovery. And it does get exhausting because you don't know when it's going to end, when it's going to take. But for me, I've learned a lot, and sometimes I reflect on where we've been. So when I say that I'm okay with it, I'm okay with where we're at today, because when I look back, before we started these videos, Ben had never been in recovery. You know, he's been using for 10 years, and before we started these videos a couple years ago, he had never done any recovery. So what we went through before we started this journey, it was crazier than it is now. Ben was hospitalized a number of times. A couple of times he spent a month in the hospital. He had numerous overdoses. I could say within like one of the 6-month span, he had overdosed like 30 times. And I'm talking flatlining, going to the hospital, they revive him. There were times where, one day he was at the hospital 3 times. I spoke about it in the last video, how frustrating it was because they never offered support. Ben's been homeless. I've actually mourned Ben, thinking that he was never going to survive this. And that's why at the end of every video we say, where there is breath, there is hope. Because I believe where there is breath, there is hope. Because there was a time, like I said, I mourned my son because I didn't know if he was alive. There were times where I didn't know where he was. And before I started working my program and educating myself, I remember going out looking for him and actually approaching a couple of guys behind a dumpster to say, hey, have you seen my son? I look back at the length that I've gone to find him. I remember once going with him to pay off a dealer. That was me educating myself, pre-learning what addiction is all about. So when I say I'm okay with where we're at today, although he relapsed, I'm okay where he's at today because I know I've done everything that I could do to help him. It's still not easy because I'm a mom. This is my son, and I, want to fix everything. What I've learned over the last few years since I've been working my program, and I say this to loved ones that have somebody in their family with a substance use disorder, take care of yourself, find support for yourself, because you can't control what they do. You can't fix it. I could look back now and see that I tried to fix things, and when you try to fix someone in an addiction, I actually can recognize that I kept them in the addiction longer. Do you know what I mean? I kept him in the addiction longer because I did try to fix things. I did do things to enable him. Since then, I don't enable. I don't try to fix things. And I feel blessed because I do have a very good relationship with Ben. I mean, not when he's using. When he's using, it's a whole nother world. But I've planted all the seeds along the way. He knows I love him. He knows I'm there to support him and his recovery and change. So I'm just waiting. And I've been here where he has been clean. The longest he's been clean is for 5 months. And people that have been following us has seen him at his best. When he was clean 5 months, it was like I had my son back. I could have amazing conversations with him. He was a decent human being. He's still a decent human being. He's just struggling. Although, I did talk to him earlier today. He sounded good, but I'm not sure where he's at. I don't ask. So today it is easier than it was years ago when he was overdosing and he was being hospitalized. I know where he lives. and he's still in touch with me. We do text. We don't talk as often as we would if he was clean. So I deal with the behaviors, and today we had a good conversation. I know that when he decides that he's had enough, he knows that I'm here to help him. So the important thing is, to the loved ones, educate yourself. For me, educating myself with what addiction is, what I can and cannot do, has really helped me. I go to support groups. I've learned the 3 C's. I can't control it, I didn't cause it, and I can't cure it. I've learned what MAT is, medically assisted treatment. I've set Ben up for success the best way I know how. I know he has support workers. He's got a roof over his head. Like I said, there was a time when he was homeless. I could lead the horse to water, but I can't make him drink. And can I say that? Anyway, I've also learned the different types of drugs out there, and the uppers, the downers. So when he's behaving a certain way, not that I ask him what he's used, I usually know whether it's crack cocaine if he's got more energy, or it's fentanyl or heroin if he's more mellow. I've learned how people make crack. I've learned that you could, with all these drugs, you could smoke it, you could snort it, you could inject it. I'm saying this because the stuff I've learned are things that I never thought I would ever need to learn. And it's not that I needed to learn these things, I just did along the way. What I have learned is what addiction is all about. And I've learned that taking care of myself is the most important thing, because I need to be ready in case anything does happen. I need to be there in case Ben wants to make change. And I deserve to live my best life, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm okay. Although Ben has relapsed, he's on his journey. And, we've said this together. He's on his journey, I'm on my journey. I am doing my recovery. Just like I hope that Ben starts doing his recovery, and he has to do the work. And that's one thing Ben knows, he has to do the work. I can't do it for him. There was a time pre-doing these videos 2 years ago where I was putting more energy into his life than he was. I learned that I can't do that. I'm sharing this to educate people and to work towards removing the stigma. It is so important. I want you to know that, anybody that's been following us has seen Ben, and he has been real with you, and he has shared his experiences. And we started this because that's what we want to do, because we know from our past experiences that Ben was treated differently when he was using. I'm not saying that you should be approaching people that are using because you don't know if at any time they're going to be tripping or whatever, but I want you to see that these people are human beings, and each person that you see that may have a substance use disorder has a family. They have people that love them, that are suffering because of their disease of addiction, the substance use disorder. I just am trying my best to educate people. And I just want you to know that there is support out there, whether you are the substance use, the person with the substance use disorder. There is support out there. There is NA, AA, CA, there's quite a few. So I'll put some links below. Also, for the loved ones, there is support. Just like there's AA, there's Al-Anon for the loved ones. There's Nar-anon for the loved ones. I highly recommend that if you are a loved one, to reach out and get support. Know that you are not alone. There is support out there, and there is recovery for us as loved ones. I've been working the program for over 2 years now, and that has been my saving grace, because I go to meetings where people get me because they're there. They understand the journey. And also I've learned to take care of myself and not to be codependent on Ben and just worry. Years ago at this point with Ben relapsing, I would be stressed out, worried. What can I do? How can I fix it? But I've learned since then, I can't fix it. I need to fix me. And fixing me is taking care of myself, learning about what addiction is all about, what I can and cannot do. Just know you are not alone. You are not alone, and I will keep you posted. I appreciate all your love and support. I send you all my love and support. And remember, where there is breath, there is hope. Peace. Take care, everyone.